Good morning. It's Monday, July 21st, and I'm going to do a garden tour at the chickens. So, obscuring the view, here's Bonnie. Come here. And these are our two chickens. The darker one is Splinter, and the lighter one's April. Declan named them. You can imagine what show he had been watching a lot of when we got these two. Right now they're eating some leftovers from the weekend. Kind of the triage that we do with kitchen scraps and food waste here is if it's not chicken or even turkey, the chickens can eat it. Yeah, and any like vegetable peelings or like any kind of leftovers, the chickens get. Anything that they shouldn't or won't eat, like a lemon rind or something, that goes in the compost, which you got a tumbler, a pile, and another tumbler. And the chicken bedding, once that's all used up, it's just pine shavings, so that goes into the compost. And here's the inside of their coop. I put whatever kind of herbs were growing in the garden, I put in there, which I think that's oregano, which helps. I mean, I feel like I'm pre-seasoning them, but oh well. This is the lock, which is hard to operate with one hand, to see in their nest box. No eggs yet today, but it's still early. And sorry to make you watch this, because if I don't lock it, I'm gonna forget. Okay, now we can do the rest of the tour. So this is our side yard, which we try to have the dogs use the bathroom in this yard. So it's kind of all concentrated, but that plant only works some of the time. Raspberry, still doing good. I figured out which kind of garden pest was bothering the cucumbers. Her name's Bonnie. She's been finding a cucumber and then yanking the whole plant out into the yard so she can chew on it. So I think she's yanked it far too many times and now has damaged the vines. We started trying to do some biological mosquito control. So this bucket's kind of gross and designed to attract flying insects like mosquitoes. They're attracted to the fermenting vegetation in there, but it also has something called mosquito dunks in it, which are a bacteria that specifically impacts the larval stage of mosquitoes. So I don't think it's working, but it was worth a try. Yeah, so I guess we'll do the beds are on the patio from this side. We're growing a basketball here. These are just some big pots with flowers and mint in it. The amaranth is looking great. I'm pretty excited about that. This is a volunteer sunflower. It's one of, I think it's called a teddy bear variety. And yeah, that's kind of the patio from this side. The fig is looking super. Maybe I'll put that in the actual ground soon. I measured the corn yesterday and it is 10 feet tall, which is just beyond exciting. I really can't believe how well this is working. There's some of the ears, I'll do a close-up on in a second, but some of them, see, I don't know if you can see there, have pink silk to them. If I can figure out a way to inset a graphic, I'll inset an image of what glass gem corn looks like, because it almost looks like stained glass. And the ears are like really looking like corn ears. So very exciting. All right, tomatoes, the majority of them are still green on the plant. Actually this is what's called breaker stage, where it just starts to turn on the outside. So I'm gonna go ahead and harvest this because I can't stand it when, oh gosh. All right, I'll come back and harvest that. I don't wanna damage the plant. I have lost tomatoes to splitting and garden pests before. So at this point, I find it safer to just let them finish ripening inside. Tomatoes ripen from the inside out, so you don't have to worry about that process not happening off the vine. Because that one's, I can tell it's squishy enough, so like the ripening process has started and it can finish that up inside. So our peppers are really looking super here. This is, I think this is a variety called Snackabelle. That should turn red eventually, and then those will be nice and ripe. And one of these eggplants around here is looking, here it is, pretty official. This variety is called Thanos, so I think that'll have to get a little bigger before we pull it. I filled in some of the green beans, and hopefully those will come up. The rest of, get out of there, Bonnie. Oh my goodness gracious, out. Bonnie, get out. Yeah, so the biggest garden pest around here is this one. This was the bed that had the garlic, and I think probably last year it also held herbs. So there's volunteer basil, which I'm never upset about, and oregano that probably overwintered. But this will get a variety of carrot that's pretty short. It's called a Danvers. These beds are only 1 foot deep. And then we have this larger bed here that's 2 feet deep, so we'll put more carrots in that are the big deep ones. The strawberry bed I weeded yesterday, and as I was doing that I decided I'm gonna need to take all of the strawberry plants out, bring the level of the soil up, and then put everyone back in. So strawberries grow like this. They have what's called a crown, and then to propagate they send out what's called a runner. So this is all one plant, but this, you can see, pretty much looks like a crown. It's just attached to one of these runners. So to get more strawberry plants, you take this and you stick it in the dirt, and then it'll be another strawberry plant. So the distribution here is not really very even. So if I redo this, I can make it more even and fill up this bed with a little more soil. After some Googling between last week and now, I realized that yes, that weed fabric is ruining things. Yeah, it kind of suffocates the soil underneath. So that was a correct guess. So yesterday I ripped up all of the weed fabric that's under this. I'm clearly going to need to put some kind of barrier around this, so everyone's favorite garden pest leaves it alone. I turned over the mulch that was on top, which had started to degrade, so it's actually looking pretty nice. And on that I planted some leftover cover crop and then covered everything with chopped straw. Nature kind of figures out a way to cover itself if you don't. So if you don't put something down, weeds will just show up to cover the soil. And despite all odds of this soil being not in great shape, there's an adorable little watermelon. This variety, I think, is called Blacktail, but that's pretty exciting. So from the documentary Jurassic Park, in the words of Ian Malcolm, life finds a way. Bonnie, if you eat that, you are going to be in such trouble. Yeah, so we're definitely going to need a fence around this because she just cannot help herself. And, oh, I did look up when to harvest parsnips when the foliage dies back in the fall. So great. They're fine there for a little bit longer. And that's this week's garden tour. It's Monday morning. I didn't get to it yesterday because we were at a party and I spent far too doing this. So thanks. Have a good week.